A question I get all the time is, Brian, why do I need a listing agent? Why can't you just bring me a buyer? Let's talk about why you need a listing agent and how to sell your home as an open listing if I can't convince you. So, first of all, what the heck is a listing agent? Well, you have two agents in a transaction. You have the buyer's agent that represents the buyer and the listing agent that represents the seller. So, while a buyer's agent's job is mostly to help a buyer find properties and make sure they're not overpaying, walking them through the escrow process, a listing agent's job is going to be to help you manage all of the buyer's agents, to list the home, to market it appropriately, and everything in between. So the first and most important thing that a listing agent does is they market your home, and they don't just market it, they market it properly. One of the funniest things to me is that the people that insist that they don't need a listing agent are often the ones that have cell phone pictures up with really vague or really literal property descriptions and everything else that's broken kind of our best practices. If you want best practices, I have all kinds of videos. Check my page. We've got really in-depth stuff on how to market your home appropriately. So the first thing a listing agent's going to do is they're going to market your home. And I don't just mean put it on the MLS. That's easy. Anyone can do that. Anything can do that. There's a lot of really cheap discount programs, right? It's a lot more than that, because the MLS in modern day is a lot like a dating app, right? People are swiping on houses all day long. And if your house doesn't look good in that first picture and then look good in following pictures, it's just going to go away and they're going to look at the next house. They're going to completely skip yours. So having best practices on pictures and best practices on description and 3D and everything else that we do to market the home not only gets more buyers to see your home, but gets more showings out of what you have there. And this results typically in more offers and faster closings. And both of those also cause more money to be in your pocket at the end, right? If you got 3 buyers all fighting over your house, you're going to have a bidding war. You're going to make more than if you have one person that just bids really low because they can, because there's no competition, right? The second thing your listing agent is going to do is represent you throughout the transaction. They're going to make sure that you have less work to do and you make fewer mistakes. It's incredible to me how easy it can be to make a really expensive error while you're in escrow, or even while you're listing the home. Making sure the paperwork is right, making sure that no one says anything really stupid, making sure that basically everything is being fair and done right and no one's doing anything kind of questionable, right? So overall, saving you from that saves you a lot of money, it saves you a lot of stress, it saves you a lot of liability. And your listing agent should handle all of that for you completely effortlessly for the most part. The last thing that a listing agent does, and probably the most important thing that a listing agent does, is they wrangle the buyer's agents, okay? So you're going to need a lot of interaction with these buyer's agents. You're going to need them to be in the house at appropriate times for showings and out of the house at appropriate times so other people can do showings. You're going to need someone to vet all of the calls, make sure that there's no scams, do everything else in between to work with these buyer's agents on your behalf. And overall, the buyer's agents are out to get you, right? They want to put more money in their client's pocket and less money in your pocket. So the listing agent's job is to protect you from all of that and make sure that you have way less work to do. You don't have to take the phone calls about showings. You don't have to deal with all of their weird complaints and weird requests. If one isn't trained, it's not your job to take care of them, right? It's the listing agent's job to watch over them and make sure they're doing everything properly. And overall, the goal as a listing agent, even though they do cost you money, is to make you more money. Because listing agents out here, depending on the platform, are usually between 2 and 3%. In the grand scheme of things, on $1 million house, I would love to think that pretty much 100% of the time, a listing agent is going to get you at least $30,000 to $50,000 more dollars on your listing with good marketing and all the other stuff that we do, from saving you from inappropriate repairs and everything in between, right? But if you really don't want to use a listing agent and you just don't think that they're worth it, then the best thing you can do is do not use a 1% listing service or a discount listing service. Instead, do what's called an open listing. What this basically does is it allows every agent to act as a listing agent. It does not guarantee your listing agent a commission, which is bad for the listing agent. They're probably going to do way less service for you, if hardly any service for you, but you still get a good agent that's in town that's going to try to sell the home, because if they can bring someone, they get paid. So to summarize, you should hire a listing agent. They will typically make you money and make your life easier and have all kinds of benefits that at the end you might not even realize that you got if they did a really good job. But if you really are just completely set and you really don't want to use one, try an open listing. If you have more questions, guys, you know what to do. Call Castro, and I'll talk to you soon.